I'd like to welcome up Dr. Alex Glykas. I've known him for some time as well, same as Stelios, charismatic that he is. Alex is essentially a naval architect and a marine engineer. He did his PhD in ship structures. He's an expert in incident investigation, and he formerly did the investigation on the Derbyshire. His experience includes ship repair management, ship operations and consultancy as a technical assessor. From 2001 to 2013, Alex was a lecturer at the University of Agen, Department of Shipping, Trade and Transport. He retired in 2013 as an elected professor at Maritime Technology. Since 2007, he has been involved in ship-to-ship due diligence issues from the perspective of cargo owners. And since 2009, within DYNAMARINe, Alex has participated in the development of dedicated marine software, ship-to-ship policies, analysis, indexing of ships' emissions, inspection of vessels for evaluation purposes, as well as third-party ship management. Alex is going to be discussing with us the risk profile of vessels engaged in the STS operations and the OSIS database. So please welcome Alex.
Thank you very much, Claudine. Thank you very much, our excellent audience today. And it was a surprise to see that such a large number stayed up to the end. And taking this opportunity, I would like to thank Miss Claudine Sharp, whom we know for the last 3 years. And Claudine, thank you very much for the work you did today. And we really admire your work until now in the industry. And thank you very much for accepting to be the chairperson. So I saw this guide that came out, was printed this morning, and I'm proud. I'm proud because of the teamwork that was put together in order to make it, in order to put it together. We are only a part of the team that created this guide. Much of the work is, and much of the honor belongs to the masters of our clients, whose apopsis and whose opinions is very much respected. So I'm going to read it carefully, and please come back with your feedback in written. We will very much appreciate it, as this is a dynamic publication that will be, we don't know when the next version will be issued, but it could be in a year or more. I'm going to talk to you about OSIS, the online STS information system, and some statistics that are visible from OSIS. So OSIS, it's like putting together a puzzle. Today, we learned, as DYNAMARINE, and personally myself, we learned many things from this forum. So we found a piece of the puzzle that probably was missing. And this forum, as an initiative, provided to us this puzzle. About less than half an hour ago, a colleague of ours from DYNAMARINE texted me that we should alter the assessment, the POC questionnaire that we request from the service providers, and include that their English are in good level, so that the master, when we receive this information from the service providers, that we know that the master will have a knowledge on the competency of English communication skills from for the POACs. So that's an added value for us that came out from today's forum. So finding the missing piece of a puzzle is part of safety. Okay, and in order to enhance safety in the STS industry, we have to listen to others. We have to respect the opinion and the experience of people that engaged in such operations, and learn from other experiences. We don't have to we don't have to making always reverse engineering to discover the wheel. Somebody else has discovered the wheel, so let's take the ready-made wheel and move forward. Let's be proactive, and let's develop a safety culture. Okay. And this safety culture is part of companies that we cooperate. We have the luck to cooperate through our work. And we are very proud to see that such safety culture has been developed, has been evolved, and it's being progressive, and it's being in continuous progress throughout the work. So, enhancement of safety needs information. Okay, information, assessment of information. It needs a community to share best practices. This is an introduction of what OSIS is on the online STS information, and we need the information to in order to minimize risk. As I said before, to learn from others' experience, and be able to share our experience through a system. So, as an example, I can show you that in an STS operation, literally this is the series of events. We have the decisions, vessel suitability, the proper and detailed planning phase, the technical support to the master. Then we have the actual STS operation, the completion of the STS operation, assessment of records. Then the assessment of records becomes the STS experience, and such STS experience feeds the STS assessment data, which is necessary for conducting a risk assessment. So why not benefit from the experience of many people, and enhance and enrich the STS assessment data part, and create an outstanding risk assessment to the best possible extent on the basis of the shared knowledge of the community that participates in STS operations. The assessment procedure we use is based on master's opinion. All masters are responsible for the safety of their vessels. Therefore, they have an opinion, which should be very well respected by the industry. There is a transparency in the procedure that we utilize. There is confidentiality of data. We share, we respect a lot the opinions that, of the individuals that participate in the system. And furthermore, when an evaluation arrives, it's being checked for consistency, and after being logged into the system, the parties that have been assessed are being informed of the assessments received by individual masters. OSIS collects data from various locations worldwide where our members mainly operate. So currently we have registered about 180 locations where we have assessment data. Assessment data for participating vessel performance service providers, mooring masters, and assessment data on STS locations. So the rules for having such, the rules of the assessment is that the assessor is the master. He has received a sort of training in doing so. There are principles on how the master conducts his assessment. The data are confidential. Each tanker operator has access to his own data, and the data are being verified for consistency and a justified opinion prior being logged to the database. So whenever a master is not happy about something, he has to say why he's not happy. Okay, and finally, after receiving an assessment, we notify the assessed parties about the outcome of the assessment. One assessment is not significant. Where we base our analysis is the statistical approach. If we have, for example, one bad assessment for a vessel, or one bad assessment for a service provider or a mooring master, this actually means nothing. But if we have 20 assessments, and out of the 20 assessments, 15 assessments are not positive, then this means something. Okay, So as time goes by and the online STS service increases and more assessment data arrives into the database, then we believe that our database will have a great value to the industry. So let's concentrate on findings. We have various findings into the database. For example, location-wise, we can go in a specific STS location, see how many STS operations we have recorded there during the last 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, ever since the beginning of the database. See what is the percentage of the reported incidents from the conducted operations. So here you see about Kafkas area on the left side, and the right side is Mediterranean. So the last 36 months in Mediterranean, we have 300 to 400 recorded STS operations and 0.7% of reported incidents. So location-wise, incidents findings as far as the location is concerned, this is shown in this graph. West Africa has a high percentage, but not that high enough. Then we have South America, East Coast, and then we have North Sea as well, and then it's Middle East, Indian Ocean, etc. The incidents are categorized, somebody else showed the graph as well, are categorized in these sections. So the most significant incidents we see as mooring lines breakdowns. More than 60% of the reported incidents includes a mooring line breakdown, and about 11% is vessel collision. Then we have fender breakdown, transfer hose breakdown, oil spill on deck, small percentage. And we can divide statistics with respect to the type of the STS operation. We have on the upper right corner, we have the STS operations conducted underway. On the middle, we have the STS operations conducted at anchor. And on the bottom right, we have the incidents reported from STS operations that started underway and completed at anchor. Incident findings, left bar, with respect to engaged vessels. So we see that handy-size vessels have increased, so the highest percentage from the reported incidents, 25%. Then we have Afromaxes 21%, Suezmax 50%, Panamax 13%, VLCC 8%, okay, and coastal smaller vessels 15%. As far as the near miss is concerned, on the right-hand side, you see the percentages with respect to the size of ships. Findings, night STS operations. In this graph, you see how many operations commence before the next sunset. Okay. We have a large number of STS operations commencing during darkness, but incident-wise, we don't see that the darkness plays a significant role. The lack of vision, sun light plays a significant role in the incidents. So to consolidate other STS findings, either findings from the database, we see that more or less the total reported incidents on STS reflect about 3% of the operations, which means that 3 out of 100 operations will report an incident of the categories that were shown before. Highest percentage of incidents appear in West Africa, then we have South America, East Coast, then we have North Sea. These are the major 3 areas with highest incident reporting. We have STS operations started at night, reveal about 0.6% incident probability. Okay, this is from the findings. And incidents between same-size vessels reveal about 0.5% incident probability. So if somebody tells you, is it a highest risk, is it a higher risk? to have an STS operation at night, or if it's highest risk to have an STS operation with the same size vessel? The answer is, from the findings, it's not. Okay. However, there is an increased risk, and there is extra mitigating measures that the ship owner and the mooring master will have to adopt. And for this reason, we don't have increased incident. So all the data we are showing is part of sharing knowledge. Okay, it's part of sharing knowledge from the members that participate in the online STS service. Apart from sharing statistics and during the clearance phase to our members, we share experiences, and that's something that our members like a lot, because when we have some standard operations, and we receive feedback from the master, apparently with no incidents, but we had near misses or substandard performances. On the left-hand side, you will see improper fendering, and so not correct fenders were provided in an underway STS operation, and the distance between the vessels were minimal. Okay, so the master had failed to check the size of the fenders, that the size of provided fenders were not according to OSIS guidelines, and this takes us back on at what extent the master assess the joint plan provided by the mooring master, okay, or by the service provider. So eventually, two vessels ended up tied up together in an STS operation like this. And in another occasion, we had an STS operation between two vessels where, however, the fenders were not provided with the second pennant line. And during the initial impact of vessels, the fender and mooring lines broke down, and the fenders went at sea, leaving the two vessels completely without any protection, unprotected. So second pennant line is an issue. Make proper risk assessment. This risk assessment has to take place on a proactive base during the nomination or during the planning phase, and provide your master with technical feedback on how his vessel could behave during an STS operation, depending on the displacement, size, etc. And share your experience, of course. Here we have another example with improper mooring. Although here we have the laden vessel, on the left picture we have the laden vessel, where you can see that the mooring lines, each mooring line passes from one closed choke. However, on the other vessel, the mooring lines goes through closed chokes, 2 lines per choke. This is according to OSIS guidelines. Okay, OSIS guidelines allows that max two lines could go through one closed choke. However, the lines could end up looking like the 2 small photos on the right corner, because of friction effect, because of the lack of use of protective sleeves. Okay, so if you pass mooring lines through a closed choke, more than one mooring lines through closed choke, use protective sleeves with maximum 2 lines. So this is sharing experience, sharing knowledge. Of course, companies that are engaged in many STS operations, they consider that they have experience, and there is no doubt about that. And we benefit from the experience of such companies, and all the users of the system share from such experience. However, now we believe that the online STS outlining about 700 vessels as members with, last year we ended up with 1,500 clearances and about 1,000 actual STS operations. So we believe that we have the capacity at this stage to start providing a useful feedback to our members from
scale of numbers. Thank you very much once again for your attention, and many thanks to Clyde & Co. And lastly, I would also like to thank the UK PNI Club for providing a useful feedback on the FAQ guide and for accepting to provide also the forward on the FAQ guide. And Stuart Edmondson has to be acknowledged about this, as well as all the team that participated in the FAQ guide. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions.
That's very fast.
No, 20 minutes.
Are there any questions from the...
Oh, just joking.
Are there any questions? I have one. It was mentioned in one of the previous presentations about incidents, and then there was comments about service providers and incidents. Your system obviously captures incidents from the master's point of view, which, in your experience, has that sometimes been different to what the STS service providers have identified? For example, I remember a discussion I've had previously where you have skin-to-skin contact, an STS service provider may not see it as an incident, but obviously a vessel owner does because it has implications. So in things like that, have you seen any discrepancies? And
yes, we have seen some discrepancies because there is no unification in the industry of what is an incident for an owner and what is an incident for the service providers. Okay, I don't believe there is a unification of incident so that a steel-to-steel contact below 50,000 USD damage is not an incident, or above 50,000 USD damage is an incident. So we see some records like this. However, we do what the master says, okay, and we log the information in the system to match each tanker operator's policies and procedures in order to be reflected in their own records, okay, in the system.
And do you share that with the service providers to
Of
help
course,
them
of
understand
course,
best
of course. All the
practices?
data, as I mentioned, all the assessment data are being disseminated to the parties that are being assessed, so they have knowledge of the assessment received. And we keep for the last 2 years, and this we have to acknowledge that that was an initiative from the cooperation we had with P66 and Arcadia Ship Management. The Arcadia Ship Management introduced this policy to the system, and of course this was transferred to all the members. So everybody knows what the database has inside, and I believe now we have made, after 5 years, that we are data providers, okay, and our system is not a vetting system. Okay, we provide data.
So obviously within the EU Data Protection Act, you're very transparent.
Yes,
with
the
that in mind
database
to-
has been registered with the EU Data Protection Act, and because we have opinions for others, and we have to do so in order to be legitimate. Thank you very much for the questions.
Any other questions?
Do you have the option now for the service providers to add comments?
They are very welcome to do it, and silently, you know, we need to earn their trust. Okay, and we are in such way in doing so, and we cannot force them doing so. But their data are also very welcome into the system.
I believe you went through a phase of welcoming service providers to submit their own information for accuracy at one stage, but I believe there were complications with that.
Yes, yeah, the service providers, that's an issue that we have, where there's a lot of discussion. But I believe that we work towards harmonizing our procedures with the requirements and the needs of the industry, and above all to assist tanker operators to be able to ensure safety through a system that provides data in order to do so. Okay. Because ultimately we have to respect the masters, we have to respect the crews, we have to build to assist masters to build with confidence, to be confident, to listen to the advices of the POC, but do not follow them and enhance complacency, as Philip mentioned. We have to build them with confidence, and I believe our service is working towards this direction. Of course, we are open to any criticism, and we are very happy to discuss our procedures and explain to the industry what we do and why we do it. Thank you very much.
Did you want to end it with the drinks downstairs?
Sorry?
Where's the reception? Downstairs?
Yes, there is a nice reception downstairs. Just to remind you that tomorrow we have a workshop, but this workshop is addressed to registered users for the workshop. It's not open to the public like today's forum. And the workshop will take place at the UK P&A Club Thomas Miller building. So let's enjoy now some drinks and have some nice discussions about today's presentations. Thank you very much.
Before you go, I just want to thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Can I just say on behalf of Clyde & Co, thank you very much for coming today. We haven't really saying thank you for Claudine. She's the one getting colder and colder over here. But thank you for her time. Thank you again. You're all invited downstairs for the drinks reception, and we can carry on the conversation. So thank you very much.
I think Claudine deserves a day off tomorrow.
Yeah, she's got the flu.
You have to call her boss.